So your wild goose chase for Zerta Trion actually did lead you to something worthwhile, but you never found her. There are signs of her everywhere here, from the ground beneath our feet to the Energon ports in their head. Shame if the legends are true. She definitely came all the way out here and built all this for a reason. It'd be nice if we could just ask. Quote, Hot Rod and Springer discuss Zerta Trion as the Agorians reluctantly make allies with a pair of strange robotic visitors. Solila discovers a relic from their shared origin. Presented by Skybound Entertainment, distributed by Image Comics. Void Rivals, Volume 1, Issue 15, The Energon Universe. Having found the sacred ring of Zerta Trion and tracked Hot Rod, the quintessence judge orders his helmsman to return to Quintessa. The quintessence judge says the new discovery is our main priority. The long-rumored laborers of she who shall not be named have been confirmed to exist. We must return to Quintessa immediately. I wish to deliver the news to the council in person. There is much planning and preparation to do. Set course before our presence is detected. Zerta's name being forbidden from being spoken by the quintessons was first established in Void Rivals Issue 9. Aboard the Leviathan, Pythona checks on Gracula after her encounter with the green stone outside the ship. Gracula says, I am well, Pythona. I have sustained no lasting injuries. I hate to admit it, but I was more or less just startled by the incident. However, I can't escape the feeling that something's not right. I can feel waves, pulses traveling through my armor. Whatever that was, my armor protected me from it, but I fear it did so at great cost to itself. Pythona noticed a series of bumps growing on Gracula's shoulder pads. She orders Acronis to keep an eye on Gracula and report any adverse effects she may experience. Suddenly, the Leviathan stalls, gripped in the claws of a Skutzoid's Rockeroid. Skutzoid says, what a tasty morsel has fallen into my web. Such an unusual vessel must house untold treasures. The wife and kids are going to be eating good tonight. Skutzoid first mentioned his wife and kids in Void Rivals Issue 3, but in Issue 9, it was revealed that they had supposedly left him and were no longer around. In Agoria, Dirax's jump ship flies through, followed by Hot Rod's shuttle. Interesting, both Hot Rod's shuttle and Dirax's jump jet, along with the Agorian soldiers' uniforms, are all the same color. Dirax's jump ship escorts Hot Rod's shuttle to the surface of Agoria, where they are greeted by Minister Doolan, Elander, and an armed escort for security purposes. Dirax says, why is there an armed escort here? I told you he's friendly. Minister Doolan responds, they're only here for security purposes. Dirac replies, yeah, but they're all going to be alarmed by his size. Sure enough, as Hot Rod steps out, the guards train their guns on him. Dirac must talk them down. Dirac says, stand down, nobody fire. The sheer size of the Autobot Hot Rod terrifies the Agorians. Hot Rod says, greetings, people of whatever this is. I am Hot Rod. I hail from the planet Cybertron, which is far enough away from here that you've most likely never heard of it. Judging by your reactions to seeing me, you probably never encountered another Transformer. Mr. Doolan asks, why have you come here, stranger? Hot Rod responds, I've left a dire situation in my homeland to locate a friend long thought lost. He set out on a journey to confirm one of our myths some time ago. I believe it led him here. President Doolan says, I assure you, if there were any of your kind that have ever been here, stranger, I would know. Suddenly, Minister Doolan looks absolutely surprised. Springer arrives in his helicopter mode, transforming as he lands. He greets his old friend while Doolan gives Dirac a stern look for not informing him about the other robot. Dirac says to his father, okay, so I didn't tell you everything. Why do you think I was so sure he was an ally? As Hot Rod and Springer reunite, Springer says, great to see you, kid. You must have gone through an awful lot to find me all the way out here. Hot Rod replies, buddy, you have no idea. I can't wait to tell you all about it. The Transformers rejoice in finding each other. Interesting, Springer's colors match those of the Zartonians, while Hot Rod's colors match those of the Agorian. Hot Rod says, things were only getting worse when I left Cybertron. Did you find the source of energy you were looking for? Springer replies, I did, but I got stuck here, and well, it's complicated. I don't think we're going to get much use of the technology with our current lack of resources. Hot Rod says, are they still aiming guns at us? Springer responds, the little loud guy will handle it. He's cool, referring to Dirac. Just then a shot is fired fired at Springer. Springer says, "Hey, not okay." Dirac says, "Stand down, I mean it. The giant scary robots are friendly, I promise." We first learned about Springer's quest to find Zerta Trion in Void Rivals Issue 10. Deep within the sacred ring, Solila and Handroid continue to fall, unsure when they will hit the bottom. The Handroid says, "This is getting a little ridiculous. We've been falling for a while." Solila responds, "We could hit rock bottom at any moment. Be ready." Android says, "Ready for what? Getting smashed to bits on impact? At this velocity, I don't think either of us are going to survive this. Even if I do, I won't have the medical equipment to reassemble you." Solly responds, "Zerta didn't lead me this far only for me to die like this. This is not her way." Android then says, "Are you sure?" "I'm generally asking and hoping you are. I have self-preservation sub-programming." Solly replies, "I am sure." Android concludes, "Well, if we do survive this, the good news is the fall is making our journey significantly shorter." Android says, "I've detected an unusual energy fluctuation." Solia responds, "Yes, Zerta provide." Android says, "It would appear so." So Solia is saved by a green glow that surrounds her and gently lowers her to the ground, an intervention she attributes to Zerta. Solia pulls out the key, which continues to glow and guide her through the darkness. Solia says, "The key, it will light the way." Android responds, "You know what? I'm just going to go silent for a moment. Nothing makes sense to me anymore." Solia replies, "Wow," while Solia is walking through the darkness with the key. Minister Doolin says, "I don't like this. How do we know we can trust them?" Derek responds, "The green one," Springer by the way, nice guy, "is the one who told me the ring was an Energon well in the first place. He's the reason I got back alive. If he wanted to harm me, he could have let me die a few times over. He helped us defeat an entire Zertonian squadron that was sent to kill us. You've got to like that, right? These are valuable allies." Springer catches Hot Rod up on what's little he's learned about Zerta Trion and the Sacred Ring's function as an energy well. Springer says they've made remarkable progress already with the information I gave them. Hot Rod replies, "Yeah, they appear to be studious bunch. How exactly does this help us?" Springer explains, "In our current state, not much. The distance between Cybertron and here is too great. Extraction and processing would have to be done by them. Our methods would be far too disruptive to their civilization. We must ensure that Decepticons don't catch wind of this place. My thinking was if they build the infrastructure to extract the Energon regularly, at some point in the future, when we have enough resources, we can establish a trade route between here and Cybertron." Hot Rod responds, "So your wild goose chase for Zerta Trion actually did lead you to something worthwhile, but you never found her." Springer says, "There are signs of her everywhere here, in every piece of the world, from the ground beneath our feet to the energy imports in their heads. She's here, but no, I never found her." Hot Rod adds, "Shame. If the legends are true, she definitely came all the way out here and built all this for a reason. It would be nice if we could just ask." Springer notes that the Cybertronians' typical methods for harvesting Energon would be too disruptive to the Sacred Ring civilizations, echoing the horrific process Shockwave was seen using on Earth during the second arc of Transformers. Later, Dirac asks Elander what happened to his belongings when he arrived. When Elander hesitates, Dirac realizes that Elander has been Canella's counterpart in Agoria. Dirac asks if they have made contact with the Unifiers, but Elander urges him to stay quiet, warning that Doolin has eyes and ears everywhere. Back in Zertonia, Ultum and Proximus have snuck back into the facility where Proximus was being held, using technology there to rebuild his mechanical body. Proximus says, "Ultum, I have to hurry before our presence here is detected. You're breaking my concentration and slowing me down. If you do not stop asking me for an update as soon as I'm done building my arm and leg, I may just kill you. I find you extremely annoying." Ultum says, "Okay, sir. Sorry, sir." Ultum joined up with Proximus after finding him in the streets of Zartonia in issue 12. Following the trial of her key, Solia continues her journey until she spots a small green light in the distance. The key glows brighter as she approaches, revealing a small opening perfectly sized for the key. She places in the slot. Android says, "I don't like this. I detect nothing. Not the surface you're walking on. Nothing around us is as if too advanced for me to detect." Solia view is consumed by the glowing green image of the supercomputer, Vector Theta. Vector Theta says, "I am Vector Theta. Before the sacred ring was, I was. Who reactivates me?" Solia simply stares in awe at Vector Theta. Much like how Zerta Trion references Alpha Trion, Vector Theta calls to mind Vector Sigma, the Cybertronian supercomputer responsible for granting life and personality abilities to new Transformers. Vector Sigma first appeared in the Generation 1 cartoon episode, The Key to Vector Sigma Part 1. This would make Solila's key the key to Vector Theta, similar to the key to Vector Sigma. Vector Theta's first lines also paraphrase those spoken by Vector Sigma when reactivated in the Generation 1 cartoon. Next, presented by Skybound Entertainment, distributed by Image Comics, Void Rivals, Volume 1, Issue 16, The Energon Universe.